If you touch me, I will destroy this village. Give me the girl that helped me to be my wife.
No. Please. Do not give me to the python snake. Please save me. Not far from that forest lived a girl. Her name was Tochi. She had no parents, no love, no one to care for her. Only a stepmother who was cruel, harsh, and heartless. One day the stepmother said to Tochi, her stepdaughter, "Go into the forest. Bring me firewood, or don't come back." And so, one fateful day, Tochi walked into the evil forest. The same forest where the cursed prince lived. As she walked into the evil forest, she heard something, a sound, not of anger, but pain. She followed the sound carefully until she saw it. It was a giant python, which was bleeding, weak, and crying. Tochi froze when she saw the python, as her heart beat fast. This was death, standing right in front of her. She could run. She should run. But something inside her would not let her. Instead, she stepped closer to the python. "Your heart," she whispered to the python. Her hands trembled, but she still stayed. She cleaned the wound of the python. She spoke gently to the python. She showed kindness to the python, to a creature that everyone feared. And the python watched her. For the first time since he was cursed, he felt something again, which is hope. So when Tochi finished taking care of the python, she fetched her firewood and returned home. But it did not end there. The python fell in love with Tochi. And the next morning, the village woke to terror. A giant python had entered their land. People screamed. Men carried weapons. Children cried. Just as they were about to strike, the python spoke and said to them, "Stop." Its voice thundered like the sky. "If you touch me, I will destroy this village." The python said to them. Fear froze everyone. Then the python said something no one expected. "Give me the girl, the one who helped me. Let her be my bride." The villagers shouted and said to the python, "This is evil. Never." But fear is stronger than courage. Then Tochi's stepmother stepped forward and said to the python, "Take her." She said, "Let her go with the python." Tochi cried. She begged, but no one listened to her. She was given away to a snake. Together, Tochi and the python walked into the forest. In that moment, Tochi believed that her life was over. But when they arrived at the evil forest where the python lives, something unexpected happened. A small hut stood before them. "Go inside," the python said to Tochi. Tochi opened the door and froze, because it was not a hut, but it was a palace, a golden palace, beautiful beyond imagination. The python moved into a room, and then light filled the air, and moments later, a man walked out of the room where the python entered. A tall man, handsome, and royal. "I am Prince Chima," he said softly to Tochi. Tochi stepped back in shock and said to the man, "What?" A few months ago in a great kingdom, a land filled with peace, laughter, and honor, and on the throne of that kingdom sat a good king named King Udo. King Udo was loved by his people, respected by his warriors, and admired by his only son, Prince Chima. Prince Chima was strong, brave, and kind-hearted. Everyone knew that one day, Prince Chima would become king of the kingdom. But in that same palace lived a man who smiled with his mouth, but carried darkness in his heart. His name was Okoye. Okoye was the king's own brother. But instead of love, Okoye felt jealousy. Instead of loyalty, he felt hunger for power. Every time he saw the king on the throne, something burned inside him. Until one night, that darkness took control. While the king slept peacefully, trusting the world around him, Okoye, the king's brother, walked quietly into the king's room, step by step, holding a blade. And in one cruel moment, he ended his own brother's life. The kingdom's mourning came with tears, and the kingdom cried. But Okoye cried the loudest. His words were, "Oh, my brother is gone," he shouted. And the prince. The people noticed the absence of the prince, and someone told them that the prince is missing. The people panicked. Immediately they started searching for the prince. They searched the forest, the rivers, and the villages. But they did not know that the prince was never missing. He had been taken away by Okoye, the king's brother. That same night that Okoye killed his brother, the king, Okoye dragged Prince Chima deep into the forbidden forest, to a place where evil lived, a shrine. A native doctor waited there for Okoye and the prince. The native doctor was old, feared, and dangerous. As Okoye was dragging the Prince Chima, Prince Chima struggled. He said to Okoye, his father's brother, "Uncle, please, don't do this." But Okoye's heart had turned to stone already. And Okoye said to Prince Chima, "I will be king," he said coldly to Prince Chima. As the native doctor began to chant, the air grew heavy. Fire rose. Spirits moved. And then, Prince Chima screamed. His scream was filled with pain, fear, and betrayal. His body was twisted. His bones was cracked. His voice disappeared. Until he was no longer human. He was turned into a python. The prince that was once loved was now feared and chased into the evil forest, alone, wounded, and forgotten. Days passed, then months, and still he lived, not as a prince anymore, but as a monster. And he told her everything: the betrayal, the curse, the suffering. Then he looked at her with deep emotion and said to Tochi, "You saved me when the world abandoned me." And that moment changed everything. Her fear was turned to understanding. Her pain turned to purpose. And slowly, love was born. Days later, the kingdom gathered. Okoye stood proudly and was ready to be crowned king. Then suddenly, a voice echoed through the palace. "Stop!" Gasps filled the air. Prince Chima stepped forward, alive, stronger than ever. Okoye trembled. You're dead," Okoye said to Prince Chima. Chima looked at him in the eyes and said to him, "You killed your brother and tried to destroy me." Silence filled the place. Then chaos. The truth had been revealed. Okoye fell to his knees and started pleading. He said to Prince Chima, "Please, forgive me." But Chima's voice was firm and said to Okoye, "Justice must be done." And Okoye was banished to the same evil forest forever. Prince Chima was crowned king, and beside him stood Tochi, not as a servant, not as an orphan, but as a queen. Back in the village where Tochi's stepmother lives, Tochi's stepmother heard the news and was shocked, regret, and pained. And she said to herself, I sent my blessing away. But it was too late, because sometimes what looks like a curse is a hidden blessing. And sometimes the kindness you show can change your destiny forever.